Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is a bit of an Easter egg for you. It's a special two-player version of Dungeon Crawl Classics Seekers of Joth. And we're here picking up the story mere hours after Weird and Bashir decided to take themselves off to a bar, forgetting their companion Vec, who was lying semi-comatose in a wheelbarrow at the time. And Weird has now staggered back outside in the early morning light to discover that the wheelbarrow miraculously is still there, and so is Vec.
All right. Yeah. Weird stands up and brushes himself off. He's got a little mud all over his kilt. Mm-hmm. He turns around. Bashir's! He doesn't see Bashir's anywhere. He tries to peek back into the door he was just thrown out of, and the guard's blocking his way. He sees Bashir's all laid out over the table. And a little barmaid over there sitting down beside him, trying to rouse him. So he figures he's all right. Weird staggers around a little bit and walks out and says, "Where'd I leave Vec?"
Yeah.
What's that? What's that? He's looking around trying to hear the noise.
So you could see two figures that are kind of hunched over the wheelbarrow, gently shaking Vec and saying, "Wake up, wake up."
Two figures?
Yeah.
Okay. And Weird realizes where he left Vec. Get away from there! Leave him alone!
All right. They both kind of stand and back away, and they're mirroring each other in their movements. They've got their hands up. You can see they look a little bit like Vec. They may be fellow priests from his order or something. You think in your semi-drunken state.
Okay, well, I rush up to him and I've got I rush up to the wheelbarrow and hurry him back. Get back! And I slapped Vec on the face a couple of times. Wake up!
Ow! I'm up.
Wake up!
Yeah. What's going on?
Outside with us. We had a great time.
Yeah. What? I just remember a lot of screaming and then blacking out.
What? Well, it looks swollen. I dropped on it. You feeling okay?
Who's ringing those bells? What's going on? What? Yeah.
Get away from him.
Okay, so taking a look at these two guys, I see they look identical to me, right?
Yeah.
When I come up, I'm like, now do they look like completely identical, like in appearance? Like they have like the magician mustache and beard? Or are they just like, no, they seem to be wearing the black colors.
They're definitely wearing the black colors. They kind of styled their facial hair slightly differently to you.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, they look like they could be your brothers. They're not absolutely identical. One's kind of affects a sort of air of innocence, and the other one is kind of looking sideways down the street, like who's watching this exchange, and is also he seems to have drawn a little knife, and he's almost sort of sidling, so as he's moving up on Weird a little bit, like he's making to stab Weird, possibly.
Okay, I'm gonna just point at him like, no, get back, and then I'll just kind of blindly feel for my dagger and tumble out of the wheelbarrow, no doubt, and just kind of spill out in front of everybody. But I'll stand up and I'll be like, who are you guys?
And they're like, "We're you."
You're me.
Yeah. And then they're like, no, I'm him. And the other one's like, okay. You're not him. I'm him.
Yeah, I'm confused now.
Yeah.
When they take your money, check your pockets. You got any money, you need to loan me some.
Yeah. We never had any money to begin with, but, well, I don't have any less money, I guess. But, all right, so you're me. You don't look anything like me. You're not nearly as, like, well, anyways, I won't get into it too much, but they're like, okay, so
they
you're
sort
me.
of do a double take. They're like, and then they're like, yeah, about that. That's because your soul's in danger.
My soul's in danger.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a load of hogwash.
Mm-hmm.
You stay out of this.
Okay.
It's weird. They both kind of agree, actually. They're like, you stay out of this. They're like, we're talking to ourselves. They're like,
me, myself, and I get it.
Yeah. You wouldn't even know which of us is the real one if you hit all three of us. You stupid old man.
Here's the way, and he's looking up at the sky for moonlight, and
yes, it is a full moon, actually. And
okay.
It
So I'm going to
is
say,
shining and illuminating this street that you're in the bowels, the depths of this place, this strange city, and they're kind of you can see that not far away in the distance there's a bit of a midnight market going on. I say midnight; it's actually well past midnight now. It's the early hours of the morning, but there are still some customers and some vendors, and they seem to be making good business. And there's quite a lot of strange goods on display, and a fair bit of haggling reaches your ears from a distance. And the two sort of semi-Vex turn to Vec and say, something has your soul, and your time is running out to retrieve it.
Okay. So something has my soul, and we're running out of time. Okay. Let's just say for the moment that I believe you, and you're copies of me? Is that what I'm understanding? Or you're part of my soul? Is this what I'm supposed to be led to believe? Like what are you guys doing here? Yeah. Especially that instant-looking guy.
We talk a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
We're terrible simulacrums.
Mm-hmm.
The creature that sent us didn't have a lot of time, so we're not actually very good copies.
Oh, you're only half-baked clones, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were taken out of the oven.
He's half, and I'm baked.
Okay. Okay, and so why are you? Are you just here to give me a message? Are you here to direct me somehow? Are you here to give me and my partner here money of some type or a job? Like, what?
We have a limited lifespan, which is about as long as yours.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're like, look, we're melting already, and you can see the sort of wax kind of coming down their fingertips.
Okay, so how...
They say, we're here to help you.
Okay.
But we have a message, but we don't understand what it means. It says, the message says, your soul is in danger, and then I can't remember the rest. And the other one goes, you're an idiot. He says, it's obvious. His soul is in danger. Seek the fortune teller. Have you read these stories before? Do you not know how they work? He said, no, I'm a new clone. Well, how am I supposed to know anything?
Yeah, it's true. He was only born like about an hour ago, right? So, okay, so we have to seek the fortune teller. Well, who's the fortune teller? That doesn't really help.
While he's just want to make a point, while Vic's sitting in the wheelbarrow, or just
Well, I'm kind of standing dizzily, probably beside the wheelbarrow at this time.
You see, Weird's already staggered off down toward the main street in that market. All right, so that's what he's doing right now.
Okay.
Where the heck are you going?
He just you see him stay.
Down the street.
There's something happening here.
Hammered. He's still hammered, and he's looking for some more juice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just grab Weird just by like I kind of see him kind of coming out of going off in the corner of my eye. I'll just grab him by the shoulder of his robe and pull him back over. No, you're not done yet. Come on. Yeah.
So you reach out to grab Weird, and there's a kind of weird sort of there's this sort of zooming effect and you kind of feel yourself kind of catapulted rapidly down the alleyway into the market, and you're stood next to Weird in the market now. And what you can see is a maze of muddy tents and market stalls, and there's kind of flies buzzing around, dust, and hawkers basically saying, "Only 2 left. Come and get your last tallow, good rope," and all this sort of stuff.
Okay, so it's just like a market where they're just like, yes, best silks and something or other or what.
Yeah, it's probably not that kind of elaborate stuff. If there was silk, that those merchants have packed up and gone. There's nothing of that kind of quality looking around.
The finest burlap you'll ever find. Yeah.
And you can see in the midst of all this kind of poverty is quite a weather-beaten, even for the state of all of these stalls, tent. It's covered in patches. It's got weird sigils on it, and kind of violet mists are kind of floating around it, and you kind of catch a whiff of incense coming from the inside of it. And it has like beads, string attached to the front, and threaded onto this string is like tiny little rodent skulls. And
and then I'll be like, "Hey, Weird, that is a fortune teller's tent, if I've ever seen one."
He goes, "What?" And he's looking around for like a keg of ale at a vendor, and he's, "You got something to drink, buddy? I need a tankard of ale," is what he's saying. He's looking around for anybody selling food.
Oh, I'm sure there's something to drink in this tent. Why don't we just go in and ask? We could probably find something.
Okay, when you say that, he staggers forward. Let's go in.
All right, so you pass the clanking curtain, and in the sort of shadows of this tent is an emaciated crone with white eyes staring into nothingness. And she has a third eye sort of tattooed in henna on her forehead, and she sort of wrinkles it up, and it kind of almost blinks as she wrinkles it, and she points at you with a long bony finger and bids you sit on the rather threadbare pillows that she's got scattered around the tent. There's also like a glowing set of coals in here, and she's already kind of unwrapping a scarf, out of which she's taken, that she had concealed in the scarf, a kind of tattered deck of cards, and she's saying, "What would you know of the plaques of Thoth Ruin?"
Okay.
The what? Yeah. Yeah.
The plaques.
Weird. It looks, since he says sit down, you could tell he kind of sways a little bit, and then he sits down and goes, whew, and he's breathing a little sigh of relief, and he's looking at these, what she said, plaques. What are you talking about, plaques?
Okay, I hope you can see that picture. So is that swapped over now?
Let's see here. I just see a black square with a white square in the middle of it.
I think it's probably it will load shortly.
Nope.
All right.
Okay, so she is dealing the cards like this and casting some kind of magic spell, and you can see elements of the magic kind of peeling away as she does some kind of rite over the cards, and eventually, she's like, no, not that one, not this one. Eventually, she's only got 4 cards left, and she says, "Turn the cards, and cast the second sight of Thoth ruin upon the unknown.
Weird laughs and bubbles up. Look, and he falls back in. Be my guest, Vic.
Okay. All right, so then I'll just kind of like hesitantly kind of come to the card that's closest to me. And then I'll just kind of flip it.
Okay. All right, so you flip it, and you... let me see if I can get this to work. Reveal a card. Have you got another white box appeared now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it updating quite slow?
Yeah, like
most of the white boxes on my end.
Yeah, I just only have the 2. It doesn't look like it's. Well, here I'm gonna try. If I were to try to refresh, is that gonna do anything? If I were to reload the page?
It may. Yeah.
Hey,
right.
check your messages real quick because it may. I know we can edit this later, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot better.
Cool.
Okay, it looks like that a reload of the page didn't change anything. It's just going to be these white.
Oh, great stuff.
Yeah. Nothing works the first time you use it.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if I should do this. It might break my connection completely, but has that helped or made it worse? No, nothing. All right. Okay, fine. Fair enough. So the card flips, and what you can see is a gentleman who is balancing a sort of chicken leg on his nose. On one hand, he's got a dagger. On the other hand, he has a jug of ale. And he has a basket at his waist, which is full of eggs. And he's sitting on the top of a house. He looks quite pleased with himself. And at the bottom of the cards, in big letters, it says, the Fool.
Okay, I'll take the card,
Okay.
put it right next to Weird's face, and then look back at the card, and look back at Weird's face. I was like, yeah, well, it doesn't have Hootie on it, but I would swear that this is a dead... Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's just cheesing and sitting his right beside it.
All right, but then I'll go and I'll look at the crone and I'll be like, well, what does this mean? You're talking about the plagues or the plaques before, and I'm guessing that's what you mean with these cards. I was told to seek you out. So what does this mean?
She says, I see a band of fools daring to risk the kingdom of death to retrieve your soul.
My soul.
Two things are needed of this quest, she says. A blade capable of cutting the chains of fate. This is the first thing. And a gate between the living and the dead. This is the second thing.
Okay.
She says, You are the fools. And the sort of semi-copies kind of go, no, that's him. We're not fools. All of you are fools.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow the kind of cosmic acknowledgement that you are fools strengthens you. And you can all have an extra set of temporary hit points.
Yay.
Okay. I see Dell struggling there. Are you back in? Yeah. So as she reveals the cards, you feel strengthened somehow. So you can all gain an extra 4 plus a D3 worth of hit points.
Okay. A D3?
So 4 plus a D3. So up to 7 hit points.
Okay, and they're kind of like temporary, right?
Yeah.
7, baby.
Yeah. I'm going to see if this actually works. Yep, there we go.
All right. Okay. So she says, "Come closer, Weird. You must choose your card now."
Weird. I thought that was my card. All right, give me one. And he snatches it from her.
All right, okay. Give me a D3.
All right.
D3 roll, and we'll... 3. Okay, classic. Brilliant. Okay, so she reveals the next card, and this is a figure in a funeral shroud with a crown around its head, and it's skeletal, and at the bottom it says death.
Oh, jeez.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. No. Yeah. Yeah.
She says, death laughs at the ploys of the raven and the maid, one with the portal, the other with the blade. Before your quest is done, you shall gamble your lives with death.
We do that all the time, so I don't see how that's different. Yeah, I mean, to you that may be a big deal. To us, it's Thursday.
We start laughing and slaps Vic on the back.
Yeah.
That's a good one. He's telling it.
All right, so Weird, you can gain an extra single bonus, one shot bonus to an attack or damage roll during the course of the adventure. So it's an extra 1d12, but you can only declare it once and then it's gone.
All right.
So you can use that to kind of strike the killing blow or improve your spell check or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And then she says, and now for the wax men. And she says, go here. And the first one kind of says, make it quick, crone, I'm melting. And his face is kind of it kind of gone sort of already almost. And you can see it's getting so thin that there's kind of a glow from inside, almost like there's a candle in there that's kind of keeping him burning, and it's starting to show through the wax, and he snatches a card, and the card he snatches shows a figure in a robe sat with a begging bowl, and underneath it says the beggar, basically, this means that Vec can have a one-shot plus 1d12 to any single saving throw or luck check.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
But it sort of sacrifices one of the clones. You get the sense that it's connected to this thing's life force.
I'll sacrifice these guys all day. I have no quarrel about that. So, yeah. Yeah.
All right. And then the other one, and she says, she tells you more of this tale. She says, the Mad King stole the Crow Queen's daughter for his court. Now her tormented ghost stands watch over the smoking pits that stink of charred flesh and hair, barring the fiery gates of bone. And you guys can make some kind of roll to see if you can work out what she's talking about with these smoking pits, and whether you know a place here that has smoking pits.
Would you take
that could be a luck roll, or it could be intelligence or something like that.
Okay. How about wisdom if we've been in the town long enough? Yeah. Just because that's my better one to... Or not, sorry. There is no wisdom. Never mind. It would be intelligence.
Intelligence, yeah.
Yeah, it would be intelligence or luck. So I'll just go with intelligence.
I'm going to roll 2.
All right, so I'm going to say it's a 1d20 roll because you've been in town, so you're kind of trained, so you know some places in town.
I'll get a 10 with my plus.
And I am rolled way too high. I have to roll under an 8, right? Because it's roll under the stat.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, then I got it.
Yeah, I thought it was 1d20 plus your modifier.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
No, you're right. No, it's a D. Yeah, sorry to talk game and stuff, but you're right. It's a difficulty number that we have to reach, and then you add your modifiers. So that's technically, so that already puts the modifier in. So I got a 15.
So that's pretty good. So you have got a clue. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I have it as usual.
Yeah. So Vec thinks that she might be talking about Ash Alley, which is a place where the dead go to have their bodies burned. It's kind of like a municipal, in as much as this place has any kind of municipal is not really the right term for it. A communal place where people can have their dead disposed of. It fell out of use a few months back because of some scandal that you're not party to, and so it's been shut. But yeah, you think she's talking about Ash Alley?
Okay, Ash Alley.
Okay, and then give me the card, says the other tallow figure, and it kind of snatches the final card and reveals it. And this is a figure of a woman standing in front of a crescent moon, and the woman appears almost on fire, and the kind of white light of the moon is shining over her shoulder, and she says, "The first step lies with the Mad King, stuck like a rat in his hole. With every gibbonous turn of the light, he blesses a crescent blade." And she says, "Now be gone from here. Seek your soul." And she's almost kind of it's almost like the tent and her features are sort of receding backwards somehow, without really seeming to move. You're back out in the marketplace.
Well, they had no booze in there. So, yeah. Okay.
Weird's sitting on the ground in the middle of the street, and then he gets up and stretches. He says, "I feel great." And then looks like he's gotten a little bit of sobered up since being in there. And he stretches out and he goes, Where'd I put Hootie? Oh my God, where's Hootie at?" And he starts frantically looking around, and he starts running back to that alleyway where it was thrown out into.
Or I can just reach into the wheelbarrow and be like, "Oh, that's what I was sleeping on. Wonder my back."
Comfortable pillow.
Yeah.
So let's say you guys do that. As Weird is kind of pounding his way back towards the alleyway, he doesn't actually find the same alleyway. He's kind of misplaced his steps somehow, and he's ended up somewhere else. And he's ended up in this rather miserable looking place where basically there's like a flow of sewage coming down the middle of the alleyway, and various kind of doors, and let me see if I can move the thing along. This may or may not work. Right, here we go. Right, I'm hoping this works. All right, so
yeah, it does.
Yeah. So you as you kind of run into this alley, you can see there's like a little shrine that's been sort of set up here along one side of it, and basically it looks like somebody's left some little stumpy candles and some various votive offerings, and the iconography of it is very crow-like. There's lots of like little drawings of crows, and everything's got like feathers and wings. In fact, there are some real feathers sort of shoved in. But it's pretty crude. Some of it's made out of stone, some of it's made out of mud, some of it's made out of feathers.
Okay, but it does look particularly like this. Like it looks like a three-headed crow.
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, you can, by all means, you can try and work out what that crow figure is, if you like.
Okay, I'm gonna try an intelligence check just to kind of think and ponder back, like, well, what were the type of different religions that were here before?
Okay, so that's 12, so that's not bad. Okay, so you've heard of a kind of crow god of death, and what you know is that there is more than one god of death.
There always is, yeah.
So they kind of share duties. The crow god, whose name is the Carnifex, is the god of the servant class, the god of the poor people, the god of the peasants,
Okay.
and is venerated and revered by them. Okay. Other than that, there's a sort of rotten wooden staircase leading downwards, and the map itself kind of it goes off. The sewage kind of goes off the lip, an edge of pavement, and then disappears down into a gap in the ground. You can't quite see where it goes from where you are standing at the moment.
Okay, it's like some sort of a pit kind of in the middle of this, wherever this room is or this alleyway is, right? And it like looking at it, it is clearly sewage, right? It's like, it's rank, it's got stuff floating in it, it's...
Yeah, and whenever Weird got there, he goes, "Oh my God, you smell that? We must be in your part of the neighborhood."
We're from the same part of the neighborhood, Weird. Like, yeah. Yeah.
What kind of freaky stuff is this? And he's kind of pulling out the little feathers.
No,
right, so if you go and pull out the feathers out the shrine, the wax figures of Vec will go and help themselves to the candles, which they'll kind of just sort of put on their hands and try and make good the bits that are kind of dissolving away.
Wow, we really are a bunch of fools. I was going to say, don't do that. You're just
okay, they drop them.
Yeah. I was going to say, you don't want to anger with Carnifex, like, even though he's clearly a lower deity of the peasant class. I would not take the risk of taking his tokens from whatever the people were sacrificing to him. Just leave them alone for now. We'll just try and get this done quickly before you guys melt down into whatever base components you guys are going to be into. But I don't know, like, I've never seen anything like this. Like,
what? And then Weird kind of tosses the feather and walks downward toward where the lip is, and you'll see him peer off into it. Oh my God, that's a bunch of nasty down there.
I'm not gonna push him in.
So this is what you see. You see that?
No, it was just a white box again.
Another white box. Oh, I thought it was going too well.
I know, man. It's perfect. Hopefully it loads here.
Cool. Yeah, so basically, Weird, as you look down, what you can see is a series of pits with little platforms and little gates and spirits floating around in the air above them and kind of wailing in distress and then kind of reforming and it's sort of, as you watch for a few moments, it's almost like a cycle of this happening. There's a grating at the bottom of the steps where the sewage flows through there and out into the pit in the middle. And then there's various kind of doors and buildings to the sides.
Okay.
Well, that's creepy.
Come look at this.
Okay, so yeah, I'll kind of just stay. I don't know. I'm kind of paranoid about ledges, so what I'll do is I'll kind of get down a little bit and kind of just look over the ledge, and I'll see the same thing there. Okay, I was gonna say, okay. Have I heard of anything like this before. Is there like a grand tale of like some sort of I don't know, soul sewer, I guess? Yeah.
I mean, basically, the Ash Alley, there is a series of ovens and the bodies get incinerated. It's not supposed to have unholy spirits climbing the walls and all sorts of supernatural. It looks, it looks distinctly more filled with spiritual energy than it should do.
Okay, so this is definitely Ash Alley that we've kind of stumbled into here.
You don't reckon?
You're not sure, but the entrance looks like Ash Alley, but this looks like
it's something completely different. It looks like a warped version of it, kind of thing. Like it's
maybe,
yeah. Like parts of the city do look like this, but it seems to be twisted in some way. It's not exactly what it should be.
Yeah, that's right.
Hope somebody didn't take Hootie. And then he breaks off from it and walks. Were you saying it's down the stair? Well,
yeah, there's some wooden stairs that basically walk down. That you can walk down and then they turn back on themselves, and eventually you get to the bottom. And you're stood in front of. At that point, you would be stood in front of this gate, and there's like a trough that the sewer flows down and passes underneath the gate. And then there's like over the top of the gate, there's a big stone arch.
And other than that, there's no other way around. Is there another walk path?
Well, the thing is, I was going to say, while we're up here, it looked like on the map there's like a lip that goes around this pit.
Yeah, that's what.
Maybe it continues. Did you just want to go around the lip and see what's around, or?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay. Well,
so you've basically got a couple of ways that you can go. One is to go down the stairs towards the gate. I mean, basically, it's all below ground level at this point. There are some side buildings, but they're all shuttered up. There's also a door on the lower level that you could go through, which means that you wouldn't have to step in the sewer or try the gate. You try and get through that door.
Okay, it looks like our only option then is just to kind of go down the wooden stairs at this point. Weird.
Okay, but I can probably look across and see if Hootie's on either side of it. And if I make that assertion that that's about my only thing, Weird starts tromping down there and he's calling out for Hootie.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait, Weird, don't get too far ahead down the stairs. We can use one of our mushmen to take point here. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully this has come back up.
That's.
It's funny how that one works and the other one doesn't. Yeah,
that was working flawlessly.
There you go. So you go down the stairs, and as I said, there is a door. On one side, and then directly in front of you, there is this gate, and then there's the pit of sewage.
I got you.
Okay, that looks a little better now. I can kind of see it in my head now. Okay. All right.
All right. So. Basically, looking at this door, it looks fairly solid to yourselves. It is firmly shut, but it looks like it maybe is slightly swollen in the frame.
Okay, and if we were to kind of take a quick stroll and take a look at the gate, what does the gate look like?
Okay, looking at the gate, what you can see is there's some dark cloud on the stone arch above the gate, sort of floating just in the space above it. And obviously, from your higher vantage point, you could see there was all these kind of shapes, spirit shapes in that cloud. But the edge of that cloud is resting on the top of the arch, which holds the gate. The gate is just about high enough that you could squeeze underneath it, but that would probably mean stepping in sewage. Yeah. And it is a metal gate. It's going to take some busting open. It's going to take somebody incredibly strong to sort of bend the bars, or alternatively some arcane magic to just blast it apart, if you want to go that way.
Okay. I'm not stepping. We're stepping around the sewage. Well, I'm not stepping in that mess, and he goes back to the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to follow him at this point. I was like, that's probably a good plan. So we'll see what we can do with this door first.
Hey, Drippy! It's calling one of those Vec wannabes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And let's put your shoulder into it. And I'm trying to use them too to see if we can.
Okay. All right. So you're getting one of the tallow men to grab the door, and you're pulling. What's your strength to start with then?
It's 11.
With strength? 11.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see if we can make a strength roll then, a group strength roll. I'll roll for them, or one of them anyway. I think the other one isn't going to join in.
All right.
Right. So that would be a D20 and. Okay.
10 myself.
What did you roll?
10.
10. Okay. All right. Okay. So, Vec and Weird are pulling ineffectually at the door. The tallow copy of Vec grabs the door firmly and wrenches it open successfully. The whole thing kind of comes off on him, and he kind of gets partially squashed under it as he rips it off. And he's now he's sort of damaged his leg. His leg is sort of bent in a kind of very inhuman way. If a human had done that, their leg wouldn't be functional at all. But it's kind of sort of squidged back, and he can lose 2 hit points. But you get the door open, and you can see there's a little chamber beyond with a funny little man sat at a desk, and he looks up at you where he's writing in a little ledger, but he doesn't otherwise kind of acknowledge your existence, or he doesn't say anything. I'm just wondering if I can.
We're telling the other talent to help your buddy up. Help your buddy up.
Yeah.
Okay, so they pull each other back to the feet. So what you've got is basically all around the walls of this little chamber is as some kind of toad god carving. And basically tiny little demons are prodding people into the maws of this big toad god that's kind of opening its mouth wide, and the little people are being pushed in by these little demon figures. It's quite a disturbingly realistic set of carvings around the walls, and a desk made of wood, a quill pen, inkwell, and over to one side a sort of patchwork curtain, and a clearly, now you get a better look at him, semi-transparent figure of a scribe that's writing in the book.
Okay, like he himself is like a spirit kind of thing, or
Yeah,
Okay.
Weird doesn't notice this right off, and he immediately addresses him. You ain't seen my blowfish, have you? Come through here? You ain't got him anywhere. He's not. Is he responding to him?
He says, let me check the records. What is its name?
His name's Hootie.
Hootie. How'd you spell that?
H-O-O-T.
Hootie.
E.
He says, yes, we have seen your blowfish.
Good, I told you. I thought he was down there. Who took him?
How did you think he was down here? Yeah.
Somewhere. I think I left him in the alley. Somebody picked him up and ran off with him.
Yes. And your names for the records?
My name's Weird Oscar Tetton.
Weird. And you can see his calligraphy is quite shaky, like the poltergeist activity that's operating the pen is a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
And he's making a record. The other names are quite neatly scribed, actually, and there's lots of them. There's hundreds of them. And he says, if you wish to find your blowfish, you will need to pay the price. Teeth! Teeth! And he holds up a pail, and it's full of teeth. And he gets out a huge pair of pliers, and he's saying, shall I do it, or will you?
Teeth? You crazy? Hey!
So wait, before we even start, doing this payment, does it matter where the teeth come from?
Teeth. I need teeth for the record.
I was gonna say, weird. Just punch him in the face. Give him his teeth.
Okay, so let's say,
Yeah.
fellas, come in. And he's the two Talamen that are outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
They come in.
All right, and Weird kind of just puts his hand on their face and pulls up and looks at their teeth.
Yeah, they have kind of yellow teeth that are kind of part of the molding of their jaw.
My hygiene's way better than that. Come on.
Yes, but then when he's holding their head or whatever, and he grabs the pliers.
Yeah.
And starts latching a hold up. Hold still, buddy. It's take a second. And he's trying to yank on the teeth. One of the Talamen.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, yeah, give me a strength roll. And they're like, because they're not going to let you do this. They don't want to have their teeth yanked. I think let's make a pose check.
A pose.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, so you have a handful of teeth.
You've got like a whole sort of set of like the bottom row falls down.
There you go. There you go. It's for a good cause. And then I take it. It's like dentures.
We understand for this.
It's like wax and dentures. And I hand it toward. There you go, buddy. And I drop it in his pail.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, Mark, but I just see the guy at the counter being like, I only needed one tooth. And then Weird's just like, keep the change. Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's so good.
Yeah.
He's like, rattle, rattle. So it's like the spirit knows something is wrong, but he can't quite work it out what it is. And he sort of gestures through the curtain.
I got you, Chief. It's a whole mouthful.
Okay. You may pass.
And he says, thank you, buddy. And he slaps my boy on the jaw like that and turns around and walks past them. Walks past them into. He says, we may pass. Is there another exit past him?
Yeah, so there's like this moldy curtain and you can push through there. Yeah.
Okay.
So, another side of the curtain.
So the other side of the curtain brings you out, back outside again at the foot of the set of stone steps that lead up over the gate, and you can see faint mist is sort of drifting around and sort of condensing on the mouldy walls and pooling on the flagstones. And then there's kind of cotton sheets hanging from various shelves that are on the walls.
Okay.
And what are you doing?
Can I check the shelves just to see if there's anything on them?
Okay.
Or is it just these things are just kind of hanging off of them and that's it?
So they look like they might have been funeral shrouds that have been bundled up and placed on these shelves.
Okay.
And as soon as you sort of go to check them, you disturb a huge number of very large beetles that kind of scurry out of the cloth and all down the shelves and then under your feet and then up the stairs and then away and kind of scatter in this huge wave of kind of black beetles, all the size of big gold crown sized things. So quite substantial beetles, and somehow you just innately know that these are kind of trapped souls. One of them, because they all have a sort of a ridged carapace on the back in the sort of shape of a screaming face. One of them, however, looks a bit like the shape of a blowfish. And one of them looks like you, Vec. And then they're all these sort of scurry away and are gone within seconds.
Okay. Do I
and
see
you
the
also
one
get a strong scent of oil on these funeral garments, and it's very heady. They're absolutely saturated in some kind of oil.
Okay. And when Weird was seeing all of this, and at first he was dancing around not to step on them and covering his legs up and worried about him coming up his legs because he's got killed on. And when he sees the one that looks like Hootie, he stops his dance immediately and tracks it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that?
Yes, that particular one kind of went up the stone steps and along the top of the gate and then through another doorway and outside.
Okay. Is that the same with mine? Like, did mine go in a different direction?
Yeah, yours scattered sort of down somewhere, kind of found a little hole and through the wall and disappeared.
Yeah, that sounds like me. Yeah. And
the Talamen are like grabbing for it and they're like, missed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Weird is like, we ain't got no time to waste, and he starts clomping up the stairs after these beetles.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
Right. I'm pretty sure Weird's just going to be like 100% focused on getting Hootie back. So I'm like, let's just get Hootie back first, and then we'll get back to my stuff. So I'll just follow him. Just
all right. Okay. Behind. So you can you roll for initiative, please?
No. Yeah.
No. Oh my lord! Now, what do we roll for initiative again in this game?
So I think it's on your character sheets, isn't it? So if you click onto the journal on the right-hand side, and then you'll see your character sheet. If you click against that, you should be able to find.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Character sheet.
There we go. Oh, so just take the first one there. I didn't see that. So I got an 11. Did you put Weird into a character sheet? Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. So I was using the paper.
All right. So I think Vec gets to go first then. So what you see is Riz like, yeah, we gotta get Hootie, and he goes up steps. And that sort of roiling cloud, almost he's clearly not noticed it, but as soon as he starts to move up the steps, it is kind of turning and moving to attack him or envelop him in a clearly unnatural way. It is animated. It is active. It is forming kind of pseudopods to attack him, and you can see that in any second it's going to envelop him. So what are you doing?
Okay, so with that, I will actually shout out to Weird and be like, Weird, look out! The thing's going to grab you! Get the heck out of the way! And I'm just going to actually kind of just take a dart from my bandolier.
Yeah.
I'm going to just actually throw it at this series of tendrils and just see if it hits anything.
Okay, all right. Make it a hit roll. It passes through it. You kind of... you didn't manage to hit a solid bit. You think you probably, in some way, it does have a physical presence, and you think you could have hit it, but it just wasn't a good enough shot.
Yeah, I'm too incompetent to attack it. Yeah, back away. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Weird. If this thing's all of a sudden, like if
it's gonna attack you before Weird gets to do. Vex spotted it. Now it's attacking.
Yeah.
So so it's I think it's gonna try and grapple you. So let's see what it. Oh, I do not want that. Get off. I don't want that either. D20. Here we go. Oh dear. That's better. Oh, okay, 16. I think that's probably going to hit you, isn't it? What's your armor class?
Okay, me. It's
30, Del.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, I can check.
Yeah. No. 10. Yeah.
10. All right. Okay. Okay. So it is. It's basically grappled you, so you're kind of enveloped in this kind of smoke creature now. It is not going to do you any damage in grabbing hold of you, but it's firmly got you. Okay, now you can have your go.
Okay, when I was coming up the stairwell, how wide is it?
It's about 3 feet wide.
3 feet wide. Hopefully, I don't fall off this sucker on either side. There's no walls on either side, right?
There's a wall on the one side, but not on the other. So you can't fall down into the big kind of pit area, but you can fall backwards towards the gate and the sewage trench.
Okay. And, all right. I think right now, what he's going to do.
Yeah.
This thing kind of almost had like a surprise envelopment on him. He's taking his sword and he just, swinging it in the air inside this. This shroud that's covered him. Okay. So that's what I do with the short sword I got.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and to roll to hit, I roll
a D16 because there's no proficiency because you're a wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking for the button up there. I don't see it. D16.
I wonder if we actually have those. Here, I'm just going to roll a D16 just to see if there might actually even be one in the game. I don't think there is in Roll20.
Okay, I rolled a 7.
Yeah, I think you could say roll D16 though, and it probably will do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what'd you get, Del?
I rolled a 7. There's no strength modifier or anything, so.
Okay.
But I'm in level 2. Does that come with a, AC bonus or to
hit bonus?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just let me go. So, okay.
Let's have a quick look. What's your class again?
Wizard.
Wizard. Right. So wizard,
you do get a +1. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and you get an extra spell as well.
Yeah, I got that extra spell already.
All right, cool.
That's what I was debating on using.
But yeah, you get the +1 to attack. So what's your total then?
That'd be 8 with a +1. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So yeah, you're not able to sort of fend it off or break free or anything like that. It's got you grabbed.
Is it restricting my breathing any or?
No. It's just sort of grabbed hold of you. You get a sense of some sort of magical potential building up within it. You're not entirely sure what that is. You can just see little sparks of lightning, and it's sort of thickening up.
Okay, gotcha.
Like it's getting ready to do something. Okay, so we'll start the next round then. Unless the Tallow Men want to do something.
Yeah, sure. Can they just run up the steps and kind of throw themselves blindly on the thing, just trying to
okay, so they're just going to pound up there and kind of hammer into it. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, so they'll attack as warriors at level 1, which means that they have got an attack bonus, and they will have a mighty deed die as well.
Okay, so it's 1d20 for their action die plus 1d3 for the hit, right? All right, so this is... Oh, keep on.
Yeah, so they get a d3. And, yeah, you can have them do a deed as well if you wish. But that... Yeah, okay, so they got... Yeah, okay, so they didn't...
Ew, yeah.
All right. Okay. So yeah, they're pulling bits of the smog and the smoke away from this cloud, but they're not hitting the sort of solid mass of it that's around Weird.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that's the first one. Second one.
Okay. You said that they also have one spell, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to go for a standard attack right now. Just let them do that.
Well, that's good. Yeah. So they won't. Yeah, they won't get their deeds, but they will one of them will definitely connect with that.
Okay.
All right.
So what's he going to do for damage if he's just kind of clawing and punching and
just with his wax fists?
Yeah.
Almost like a golem. I would say he can do a d6.
A d6. All right.
4 points of damage. Okay, so yeah, he's smashing bits out of this cloud, and it is beginning to sort of dissipate slightly, and it did appear to be hurt by that, and it's kind of turned and kind of made a big looming face out of smoke at the Tallow Men, and but he doesn't let go of Weird.
Okay.
So that's the end of round 1. So round 2, back to the top of the round. It's Vex go.
Okay, so am I able to touch Weird at this point at all?
You can grab his feet, for sure.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll do that, and then I'll say, with the blessing of N, I bless you to try and vanquish this foe. Just to see if I can get that to happen. And
Weird thinks that they're grappling his legs now, too.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's pretty good. And you are in a highly spiritual realm now.
Okay.
So,
does that give me an additional bonus at all?
I think it probably will, yeah. So I will say it will give you a d6.
An extra d6, all right. Feeling the coalescing energies of the spirits. Ooh, good. Ooh, wow, oh my gosh, something good. Yeah, all right. Okay, so with that, basically you see that this great dark energy kind of shoots out, I guess basically comes from some greater place through the walls behind us. So you see this black smoke that actually it's even darker than the black smoke ahead of us where these tendrils are coming. And you just see it kind of coalesces around Weird, probably freaking him out a little bit, but then you just see it kind of goes into his veins, and then you see he's got these black, veins kind of coming up and going around him and kind of moving almost worm-like. And what he has right now is for 1 turn, he gets a +2 on all his attack rolls, damage rolls, saving throws, skill checks, and spell checks.
Wow, brilliant. For a whole turn as well. So
for a whole turn, yeah.
Dang.
Not a round, that's a turn.
Weird.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Yeah. And bless us this day.
All right, okay. So the cloud at this point is going to start to constrict Weird and squeeze your head and your shoulders, doing you some damage. So let's have a look at that. Ooh, that doesn't sound great. 6 points of damage.
Ooh.
Bear in mind, you still got those temporary hit points that you rolled as well.
Oh, yeah. I'll mark them off.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, right. And then it's Weird's go.
Okay. Weird's going, get off me! And it's getting darker than even it was before. It feels this something flowing through him. He felt better after leaving the crone, and now he feels almost supercharged. But he's being restricted. Something's grabbing his legs. He's about to fall off.
But now you're all coked out on evil. So
exactly. Now he's gonna. Get off me! Okay. That is 11 unmodified. So you said plus, and he gets an attack bonus of 1.
2.
You
have a regular attack bonus
1
of 1.
and the 2, so plus 3, yeah.
Okay.
So 13.
No, that's actually 14.
Ooh, okay. You nearly hit it.
Oh, good.
It's a cloud. It's hard to get.
It's true.
All right. Now I'm rolling for the short sword is what, D6?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's.
Oh.
Yeah, I think short.
Yeah, did he hit it?
No, you missed. Yeah. You missed it.
Yeah, you missed though, Del.
Well, I didn't roll yet.
No, to hit? Isn't that what that roll was that you just did?
Yeah. Oh, I'm
yeah.
dead?
Yeah, you missed.
Yeah, you needed a 15. Sorry, Del.
Like I just made. Okay, gotcha.
You nearly made it. You didn't quite. I don't know if there's a thing that you can expend. You probably don't want to waste your plus 1d12, do you? On that?
Well, I do want to use the luck to go ahead and make it happen.
Well, you could make a luck roll. Yeah, you could burn a point of luck. Yeah,
luck to make it happen. Yeah. So, especially being supercharged like that.
All right, burn a point of luck.
All right.
And I'll give you a plus 1, I believe. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's for every 1 you get a modifier equal to that. Yeah.
Okay. I don't roll to burn luck, right? I'm just
no. You just say
you just take it away, but your luck permanently changes. So,
yeah. All right. Well, I'm rolling the D6. I got a 2 plus. What did you say? Plus 2 for damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
So another 4. So you've done 8 points of damage on this cloud. So yeah, you hack into it. A miraculous blow that looked like it was going to miss at the last minute it hits. And it's starting to come apart now. So it's down to the Candlemen to have their go.
Okay. So I guess
notice one of them there, the crown of where your hair would be has gone, and you can see there's actually a little wick that's burning away inside it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna have them go straight up for an attack because that's all we really need is just damage right now. So I'm like, okay, well, all right. So I'm gonna do that first one. Just sucks.
The first one.
Yeah.
Is useless.
Yeah. 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 Come on, attack it like you mean it. Jeez.
Nope.
Okay,
right.
So swipe, miss.
All right, third round then. So starting with Vec again. So it's got a firm grip on him. It's constricting him. He's attacked it with the sword. It's taken some damage from one of the tallow men. And what are you doing?
Okay, so at this point, I kind of see like Weird's kind of like Is there a way that I can pull Weird away from its grasp?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
can I
you can
grab him and then kind of bring him back downstairs?
Yeah.
All right.
Against your grasps too.
I was just thinking, I'm so weak, especially after that, after being killed. All right, so okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do a grab for Weird, and then try and pull him away from the thing. Okay. So, did you just want me to do like an attack roll of some type, and just?
I think you can grab him, no problem, unless you're kicking out against him.
No,
I think you can just grab his legs, so you won't. It's just really strength versus strength to try and pull Weird away from the cloud.
Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll make an attempt here. Oh, for frick's sake!
Okay.
Yeah,
that's not going to work then.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Hey,
so,
the cloud can roll
in
one.
fact, what happens now is, because I think it's the clouds go, it pulls back and it pulls back extra hard, and Weird kind of pops free of your grasp, disappears entirely into the cloud, which kind of goes and sort of dissipates, and the Talamen are kind of looking around. There's nothing for them to hit. Weird seems to have vanished. All falls silent.
Okay, we can't move further ahead up the stairs. Like
you can now. The cloud's gone. Weird's gone. There's nothing there.
No, out of his grasp, and it totally. Okay.
Yeah, it's took you. The cloud has taken you and dissipated. All right. Okay. So you walk along this little archway into a chamber lit by flickering red candles, and I'll reveal that as well. Or try to anyway, if I can manage to find the
tool that does
it. Reveal areas. There we go. Okay, so this is quite a big room, sort of 15 feet by 25 feet. There's a long table in the middle of this room, and there's a kind of crimson red cloth on it. It's set for a lavish meal, and there's a kind of dozen shapes sat round the table, and several of them are obviously skeletons. Some of them are there seems to be a kind of a set of what looks like sort of dummies that are kind of canvas stitched with kind of painted smiles on, and then there's some skeletal entertainers, and then a mummy at the head of the table wrapped in bandages. And as soon as you and the tallow men approach, the sort of scene comes to life, and the fiddlers, the skeleton fiddlers, start up a kind of unearthly music, and there's two skeletal lovers who were kind of held together with bits of wire and string, and they're kind of embracing each other, and some of the skeletons are sort of rigged to be able to pick up goblets of wine and sort of mechanically put them in their face, and you can see this wine kind of splash and cover them, and it's not going anywhere into any kind of mouth, but it's the sort of crude effect of eating. And the mummy comes to life and says, "Greetings, take your seat. The feast is about to begin." Weird, you hear those words. You can't see anything, but you can feel there's like cloth pressed up against your face, and you kind of feel sort of tied up, you can vaguely see cut through the cloth this sort of red light coming to your eyes. What are you doing?
From my perspective, I'd been getting more restricted or constricted, basically, and everything had been darkened to a certain point. So Weird is struggling against it like he had been all this time. And instead of going, it went totally dark, and now he's seeing this red light.
Yeah.
So he's staring at this red light, and he's struggling almost toward the red light.
Okay, all right. So you see one of these canvas dummy figures kind of writhing around in its chair and struggling to sort of, and it kind of slumps against the table, knocking cutlery and some of the food flying, and you kind of feel a thump and you a crash as you hit something weird.
This thing's built by an idiot.
Yeah, the mummy stands up, and it has a wickedly sharp curved knife. And it moves straight to the dummy that was struggling and slits the canvas, and Weird is revealed. He says, "Stand down and enjoy the feast."
All right. Now, Weird sees this right in front of him.
Yeah, so you see this kind of mummified figure.
And he's looking around and doesn't, trying to, where is he now? And as he's looking around, I guess he sees Vex and the two Talamen standing there.
Yeah.
Because his mummy's standing there. He shuts up because his mummy's like right there with that knife, that wicked little knife. So he kind of just, okay. And he's looking at the table. All right. Is there any feast? Like
there's some kind of greasy soup in a bowl that you could kind of just sort of reach over and sort of slurp. I mean, you haven't got your hands free, so that's.
But I'm still bound. Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Weird shuts up finally.
Okay.
Well, what I'll do is I'll kind of walk towards, like, I see all this, right? I see Weird on the ground, the thing. Okay, and then I'll just say, well, if you really want him to enjoy the feast, he will obviously need to be able to eat with his hands, right? So why don't you cut the bones on his hands first, and maybe he can have something.
Can't argue with that. And he kind of slices down the back of this canvas bag, freeing Weird completely and cutting through the bonds that are tying you to the chair. Probably slicing off some of your skin in the process, doing kind of cosmetic amounts of damage.
Yeah.
And he
all
says,
right. "Come unbound," or whatever. We're to sit there, and the thing's still got the knife. So, and we're just combobulated right now for a little bit. So,
this is terrible, absolutely awful. This feast can't continue because the Queen refuses to attend. Go and fetch her now.
Well, where is she?
It's over there, he says, pointing down another set of stairs. Bring her back here right now. I command you. On the orders of the Mad King.
The Mad King.
The Mad King. Yeah, and then the music changes, and the tail of the Mad. They start doing a little sort of jig to, and the Mad King's mad, and he's looking for the maid, and and it's not very good.
God, it's a singing number. Yeah, okay. I gotta drag Weird downstairs as fast as possible, or he's just gonna chime in and do a chorus and yeah.
Okay. Weird stands up. If the thing backs off of him a little bit, he'll stand up and push the chair back, and while Vec's coming behind him, and he'll kind of back up and follow Vec and kind of wave bye to him as he goes down the stairs.
Yeah. Okay. Resist, Weird. Resist. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So basically, what you can see now is this. These are stone steps, and they come down. And there's a door in front of you, and then there's like a grate, and the grate there's also the lip of these flaming pits, this huge space full of fire, and the grate kind of leads through to the kind of oven area, but the door crosses back to the other side of the gate with the sewage flowing at the base of it. So you've got a choice of two directions, unless you want to go down into the flames.
Okay, I don't think going down into the flames is advisable to anybody. So why don't we just try that door first, because I'm kind of iffy on these grates. I don't think we can rip them up.
Okay.
yeah, let me just see if I can find the door. So this appears to be another sort of stuck door that's kind of warped in the heat, and is going to need yourselves and the Talamen to bust it open.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Weird is first he says, I don't reckon he asked Hootie yet. Didn't see him on the table. I don't know what happened back there.
I don't know. It's just some sort of freaking dinner with undead. Most of them seem to be animated through contraption more than magic. It seems to be with gears, wires.
Maybe if I find Hootie, I'll go back there and, live it up with him a little bit. But all right, guys, one leg, come over here. Trippy, get to the door. And then he starts slamming into the door, trying to get it off.
I'm calling them now, one-legged Drippy. Okay.
Yeah.
No, fine. Okay. All right. So they can make an attack roll on the door, or they can make a strength check. It's up to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We were successful with pulling it off last time. So
yeah. So let's just do a strength check then. So will they have a similar strength to me, or were you going to give them a fighter? Well, you said that was going to be +1, right?
Yeah. So they've got +1 mod.
Okay.
I rolled a 10 again.
It's okay. You're just loosening it for them, Del.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man,
So
really?
that's 12. Okay. All right. So yeah, that is just about enough to partially bust the door open. And as I said before, you can see there is another door across the other side of the trench. The sewage has been kind of flowing with gravity, and it's kind of picked up speed this side of the gate, and is flowing quite rapidly. You're going to have to jump across the sewage trench in order to get to the other side where the next door is.
All right. How far is this gap?
I guess it's probably about 5 feet at this point. The trench has kind of been getting wider.
Well, I'm
very
about
deep,
5. Okay, well, I'm about 5'4", and if these guys are copies of me, we could push one over, walk across him without having to jump, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like your thinking.
Well, I can throw them across,
Yeah.
They probably won't weigh nothing.
All right. Okay, so you get one of them to lay down across the sewage. Okay, cool.
I was gonna say there's not like a board or like.
Convince him to do that, don't you?
Hmm?
You got to convince him to do that.
Well, no, they're here to help him, so they will absolutely do that if you instruct them
they're going to help him. Yeah.
Yeah. So, one of them will lie down. However, he's quite bendy.
Yeah. He's just whacked, right?
And as you sort of gingerly test it with your foot, that you do leave a kind of footprint on the wax, which is getting quite soft. But by all means, walk across.
This just does not seem This doesn't seem like a good idea, but it's all right. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna just run across them as fast as I can.
You can give me a dex roll, and you can give me a strength roll for the Tallow Man.
Okay, so there's my dex.
All right, which is rubbish. Okay.
Yeah. It's okay. My character kind of is rubbish, and then his strength roll, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, that's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, what I was going to say is, if he had have kind of slipped or, not been able to support your weight, you would have fallen in. But no, he's absolutely up for the challenge, and you kind of spring across him, and he almost kind of helps you to the other side with one of his arms that doesn't seem to. It almost seems dislocated. But yeah, it kind of pushes you over, stops you from falling in. So you're able to get over to the other side very easily. And in fact, with that roll, it's such a good roll, I'll let all of you cross over.
Well, there you go.
Okay, all right, good.
All right.
I was gonna run
Through this doorway, which is open, you can see there is a trio of skeletons lying against the far wall. They're all clad in ruined chainmail. They've got kind of pole arms clutched in their desiccated, bony fingers. They're all covered in black soot, and everything in the chamber is kind of blasted away, as if it's been attacked by some huge amount of heat. Basically, as you approach the door, you can hear these things, and they're whispering at you, and they're saying, "The Hell Witch wards the gates of death. None may pass. Free us, free us." There's also a another stairwell going down, closer and closer to the flames you're getting at this point.
So they said the Hell Witch guards the gates of death.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to free them.
Yeah. None may pass. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the fact that there's... Yeah, I was going to say, well, the fact that it looks like that these three are burnt out, I'm guessing the moment we enter the room, if we don't get this Hell Witch on our side, I'm pretty sure we're just all going to fry. So maybe we should just keep going, maybe down the stairs? I don't know how far this queen is. I was under the impression she wouldn't be very far.
Maybe we can send one of your copycats and see what happens. We could, they could help us.
It's true. That's what they're there for. So, yeah. All right. Let's get that strong one that helped us across and see if...
And remember if they have any kind of a bonus or whatever from the cards earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what you doing?
Okay. We're going to send in one of the wax men to maybe just take a look at the skeletons.
The one that was laying in that crap.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that Talaman goes into the room and sort of gingerly pokes one of the skeletons, and a whole bunch of the soul beetles come away, one for each of the three skeletons, and they kind of scuttle for the door. Thank you.
Oh.
It sort of pulls some of the pole arms out the hands of the skeletons, and then sort of brings them back and sort of deposits them at your feet. Saying, "This is what you want."
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. The other one goes,
You can't see that.
Mm-hmm. You took his teeth out. Yeah.
You took his teeth out. You can't talk.
But when these beetles were leaving, any of them familiar?
No, they were just the three skeleton guys, right? And that was it.
Yours went through the wall and that side, so I was wondering.
Oh, you thought that maybe mine was stuck with these guys or something like that, or was hiding with them?
It had gone in that wall or through that wall. Okay.
Yeah, it would have come out somewhere near here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe we just want to stop and maybe take a look and see if mine is not. Well, I guess just taking a look at the room, it's all just pretty much all stone, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's totally blasted this side. Other than the skeletons, it's featureless. So.
Okay. Well, I mean,
if your beetle made it through here, maybe it's gone. It's been and gone by this point.
Okay.
Doors open, so. Yeah.
All right. Both candlemen kind of showing their ball spot.
Yeah, they are now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they seem to have significantly lost a bit of height now. So you're not sure if you put them back in the sewage trench, they would be long enough to they could do that with their arms out, maybe. I think that's probably how they did it before. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So the stairs leading down appear to be the only exit from here.
Well,
and there is another door at the bottom.
All right, where's going down? He's got a sword, and he's letting those two Talamen have two of the to the spears.
Yeah. Okay. So they've both got a spear. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No probs. Okay. So this chamber, the door is locked, and you notice that there's a sort of thin line of what looks like gold that's spilled out of the lock and trickled down the door, and there's more gold that's kind of molten and spilled out of the bottom of the door where the door's not quite flush with the floor.
Yeah.
So there's obviously been something quite hot in here, and that's hot enough to melt gold, which is then sort of trickled out. The gold would probably be worth something. You could scrape it up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, look at this, and then Weird puts his hand on the door.
And you can feel the heat coming from the other side of the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but the gold on this side is pretty much solidified, right? Or is there a continuing trickle?
Yeah.
Okay. Weird's taking his sword and he's trying to scrape off some of the gold to pocket it. And he says,
off the floor, just. Well, we did here for a while. It just more starts pouring off, and we're just like, oh, there's some more. There's some more. Okay.
I'm going to say that, you can scrape it off. It's a slow process to do that, but you absolutely will get 25 gold pieces worth of gold off the floor and the lock. However, your +2 is going to dissipate because it's going to take longer. Than the turn,
So honestly, what Weird's going to do, he's looking for some immediate cash to refill his tankard. But he'll stop and consider.
Well, he can scoop a bit, just get 5 gold's worth of it, and then stop. Yeah.
Like I said the whole time, but the trail's getting cold for a hootie is what he stops and realizes.
Yeah.
Aside from his thirst, So
so this door is going to, you either need to pick the lock or beat the door down again.
This terminates at this door, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
but there's gold leaking out of it. So if we break this door down, I have a feeling this whole room is going to flood with liquid gold.
Yeah. When you see one of them, we got a lock pick? Because I don't.
No.
Yeah. You don't have lockpicks.
No.
As far as I know.
No, so did you just want to have the candle?
They're just going to hammer it.
Hammer the crap out of it?
Yeah. I mean, eventually they will break it. They will break it down. The question is how quickly they can do it.
Right before, when I feel like it's going to give way, I'm going to go back up.
Sorry, say again.
I said this is the first roll. Oh, Dell or me? Dell or me?
I was just saying, Weird's going to go up the stairwell before it breaks. He's going to help him out a little bit.
All right.
We're going to retreat up.
All right, so I think it's the Candlemen then.
Yeah, so I got a 20 and a 10.
All right. Yeah, so that's pretty quick. So yeah, you do manage to fairly quickly smash this door down in a matter of a minute or two. Or the Candlemen do anyway. They seem to be getting a bit thinner now as well, and they're visibly losing a bit of energy. As soon as the door is opened, they kind of go whoa like this and visibly start melting. There's this overwhelming heat coming out of the door, and there's kind of fumes of kind of molten metal in the air. And it's kind of stinging your lungs almost, just standing in front of it. The Talonmen immediately back away. It's too hot for them. They're just going to melt into puddles. So they back away up the stairs to where Weird is stood. And you can see through the door there's a wooden throne that's charred right at the rear of this room, which is quite a big room. I'll draw it in. There it is. And it's basically that toad god. It's sort of a carved toad god, and then the arms, the sort of legs of the toad is where this skeletal figure is crouched, and it's a rogue skeleton with a gold crown on its head, and everything in this room is kind of singed and bitten by flame. But there are immense amounts of gold coins spilling out in every direction. But where the coins have touched the floor, they've kind of partially melted and kind of marbled into pools of gold, silver, and copper.
Okay.
And basically, the skeleton is kind of beckoning you forwards, and
he's at the back with a grip on. Right.
You can see that the skeleton is almost, there's like a hole in the roof, and the moonlight is shining down on the skeleton.
Okay.
And it's he's saying, "My soul is trapped for all eternity, as is all of the hundreds of other souls in this place. We cannot pass on as long as my queen, Moira, remains to guard the gates of the realms of the dead. I am not an innocent man. In my life, I did foul deeds, and in my death, I have added to them. But for all the other souls trapped here, I beg you, free them."
How do we do that?
Well, sounds like we have to get rid of the queen that guards the gate.
Where's she at?
We're trying to find her, yeah.
Leave her to it.
Yeah, you guys don't have a good sign system set up here. I mean, we've been walking all over the place for the past 10, 30 minutes.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm trying to address him straight way.
yeah.
And, the skeleton. Lead us to her. Where's she at?
"I can't leave. I must remain here. Even now she assails me." And as he says this, he kind of bursts into flames. "Now she attacks me again. She attacks me." And you can see like coals light up of full of fire in his eyes, and his kind of skull is now on fire. And he's saying, "It burns!" And blue electricity starts to crackle out of his fingers. He kind of releases it, but in releasing it away from himself, he blasts you guys. What are any of you wearing any kind of armor at all?
I just have leather.
Just leather.
Oh, wait, no, not even leather. I have padded.
Just padded. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, basically, he's just going to go off like a bit of a bomb at this point, and you're all going to take some fire damage unless you can make dex saves, please. So this is a reflex save.
Okay, so I'm going to grab one of the wax men and put him in front of me.
Okay, she's going to duck behind the wax. Okay, yeah. All right, fair enough. I'll give you a bonus for that. So hiding behind the wax man.
Okay.
Weird's not. He don't have any kind of. I mean, he's got a kilt and he's got a little tunic, but he don't have any kind of leather armor.
Okay.
He was too busy looking around at where this queen was supposedly attacking from.
Yeah.
Or if she's even here, she's probably not even in this room. Wherever the gate is where we have to find her. But so is this just a reflex check then?
Yeah.
It is.
All right.
You know what he's doing. So reflex.
Yeah, and I think the tallow men can all have a reflex of +1.
Okay. So that was mine, which was 7.
7. Okay, all right.
Can I just sacrifice one of them to increase that by a D12? Right? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Candlemen?
Yeah. Okay. You don't take any damage then, and one of them just goes.
I'm just gonna be like, "Save me, wax me," or something. Yeah. So I'll just have
the intense heat and the electricity is just kind of you get splattered with wax, but basically you take no damage.
Yeah.
You got a nice shiny coating now.
Yeah.
All right. I got a 6. There's no.
Right, so you're going to take D4 damage then. Do you want to roll a D4?
Sure.
And this is fire damage, so you're actually partially on fire at this point.
That's
bursting into flames.
Yeah, when he does that, his kilt and his tunic are all on fire, and he's jumping around in a hyper jig, trying to put himself out.
Okay.
So that's 3.
3. Okay. Cool. And the unfortunately, I think the other Waxman is obviously going to be vulnerable to this. So I'm going to say it's a D8 damage.
Okay.
1. Okay, must have just found it. Maybe basically it's like one Waxman in front and Beck in the middle, and then another Waxman behind Beck. The other Waxman goes like, phew. Only takes 1 point of damage. Okay. And the figure kind of is visibly trying to resist the fire now, and he says, take this blade, take it. And he sort of kicks a kind of crimson sort of scimitar out of the room towards you guys, and it's all the blade is completely blackened and sort of charred, but the sword is intact, and he says, use it to kill the maid.
To kill the maid, eh? All right, well, yeah, I'm gonna go grab it, because yeah.
All right,
wait, did he say that he meant the queen, or that he said the maid?
Yeah, basically people have been using those two words somewhat interchangeably so far.
Okay.
The fortune teller at the start, she talked about a maid, and the people at the banquet talked about a queen, and the guy with the scribe, the ghost scribe, sort of talked. It seems like maybe they may be the same person.
Okay, well, because I remember
the queen was a maid, you know.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, but no, because I remember that it was from the information that was given to us by the fortune teller. She said that we needed to find a blade that can cut the change of destiny at a gate that'll lead you to the afterlife. So I'm guessing he's telling us to use this blade, and that the chain is probably the queen. I'm just throwing this out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll go and I'll pick up the sword.
All right. So there's basically only.
I'll take them.
Yeah. Okay. So you pick the sword up. There's 2 ways you can go. You can go back over the trench, retrace your steps, get over to the other side, crawl through that grate that you saw, or alternatively, you can try and jump onto one of these platforms that you can see in this huge pit. So let me draw those on. Now you've got quite a good vantage point of those where you stood at the moment. So there's 3 of them, and they're stood kind of right in the middle of the sort of spiritual flames.
Yeah. Okay.
That looks like instant death. So, yeah.
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 All right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hammer in a sign that says "Careful, open flame pit. Do not enter," or whatever. But okay. Yeah. I'm gonna say I don't think it'll be advisable to jump to these areas on the far side. Okay. I think it would be best to probably try and go back, cross over the sewage that's been draining into the pit, and to go back to that grate that leads into that, whatever that flame area might be that we saw before.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that just leaves you with the problem of getting over the sewage then, basically.
Yeah, so what we did before, like looking at the... so we've lost a wax figure at this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there any wax left over on the singe mark that he was at that we could kind of collect and just add it to our remaining wax guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking like your old self. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's all about reusing resources, Weird. Come on. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Weird's put himself out, and he doesn't really understand what's going on right now as far as all the conversation. about the witch and everything. But let's get out of here. And he goes to the door and starts going up. You understand any of that?
Yeah, I think what it's doing is it's just kind of recounting what the fortune teller had told us about having to destroy these chains that bound the gates to the afterlife with this blade that can break the chains of destiny. Now, the thing is, it's a prophecy or some sort of weird kind of crap that's going on, right? So I'm just taking this objectively. Yeah, so I'm just taking this. I'm just hoping this is what it is. I'm just going to close my eyes and start whacking this person with a sword, and hopefully it'll work out. That's what I'm hoping. But
the Hell Queen?
Yeah, whatever this Hell Queen is. She seems to be the one that's holding this gate closed. So I think that once we get rid of her, we'll be able to get my soul back in Hootie.
Your soul back in...
That's why we're here.
Yeah, I'm all down for that.
Yeah, you fell asleep. You were too drunk to listen to the prelude, Weird. I understand. But yeah.
Hey, I got a spell for that.
Yeah. So I think once we find this queen, we might be able to solve this. Well, hopefully, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. So basically, what we're going to do at this point is, I think we're just going to jump over the sewer stream or whatever you call it.
All right. So this is a fairly. Sorry. Yeah. So this is a fairly low DC. I'm going to say it's basically an 8 that you need.
Okay.
And then what's your roll? 2s?
I know going swept out in the
3. Yep.
All right.
Okay, this will be fun.
Splash. All right. Okay. So you are going to basically get swept off your feet unless by this fast flowing mass of fetid material that's going into the fiery pit, unless either somebody grabs you, or alternatively you make a reflex save, or you sacrifice another wax man.
Oh, I can do that. I can be like, help me! I've literally fallen into the shit. So I go, I line up myself.
You go, help me! You grab the wax figure.
Yeah, I'm like, help me, save me! And then he's like, I'll help you, master. He runs in. I just grab him by the arms. I'll pull him in. So then we're both going through. Then I'll climb up off of him, and then try and get on top of him. And then I'll just kind of push off of him and get up onto the other side.
Okay, brilliant. And then he'll sort of move down the trench towards the fiery pit. And as soon as he gets anywhere near it, he kind of just melts to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It hitting your biggest fan.
Yeah. Oh, I got some in my mouth. Yeah.
Okay.
I have no barometer about your lifespan now.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was with you jumping across. So we're going to try to go across now.
Yeah.
Maybe I could just walk across you while you were, wrestling with him.
Yeah. No, it's the little footbridge. We missed 2 feet that way. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump across.
Okay, so agility roll. Like I say, I'm not looking for the world's highest roll here.
Oh, I got a 15.
Okay, yeah, easily. No,
17.
Not hard. Right. Okay. Yeah. So you've got this grate, and you reckon you could probably it's rusted. You probably could get it, tease it out of where it's sort of mortared into the rock. It's going to take a bit of time to do that. Alternatively, you could try and blast it or something like that.
I think that sword you got, and I have a short sword too. So
you just want to wail on it with like this blackened sword and your short sword.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm trying to. I need to. You said it's. Oh shoot! I think of the bars on this thing.
Yeah. So they're probably about quarter of an inch, something like that.
Yeah, but they're rust.
They are rusted.
Yeah.
So not massive. I mean, it's designed to stop rodents and stuff from getting through rather than people. But it's relatively solid.
Well, I sit down on my rear end and start kicking, trying to kick it out.
Right.
Yeah, well, could you just enlarge yourself and then just rip this out with your bare hands?
Okay, Mark, when he says I'm looking around. Do I have room enough in here to do that?
Yes, on this side you would, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can see through the gap. You can see the corridor is about 5 foot wide, but there is like a little antechamber where it widens out to 10 feet, and it's quite a long corridor, long and thin.
But anyway,
stretches all the way down the
I
side.
don't have Hootie to make this. Well, I reckon. So I have to say it to keep with the. He stands back. Stand back. Give me room. There once was a wizard named Ged whose staff was as hard as his head, and when it was charged, it would grow quite large. So he'd have to use 2 hands instead. And then, boom! And what does it say? He gets what? It's like lightning.
No, fireworks go around. Like it's a bunch of pixie lights and stuff explode.
Oh, okay.
And then he turns immediately into a baby. And then he explodes into a large man. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm just thinking, well, she had missed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Make your spell check.
Yeah, let's see what happens. All right, it's D20, right?
It's a D20, roll high.
It's a D20. You're going to add your intelligence,
and your level,
and your
2.
level. Yeah.
So the 3. Oh my God, that's 7.
Yeah. I think that's just a fail.
Is that total? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just an ordinary. Yeah, spell doesn't go off. You probably don't lose the spell though.
I get some kind of corruption.
You don't get
no corruption is only if you get like a 1.
Yeah.
So
it's not even a misfire, I don't think. That just rubbish.
Well, here.
You momentarily turn into a baby and then you just turn back.
I told you I couldn't do it without Hootie. I need him.
Well, I guess we had to try.
Keep him in time.
All right. Well, basically, I'll try and kind of just grip at it. I was going to say, well, maybe if we can pull it hard enough, maybe we'll just rip it right out of the wall.
All right, that's right.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it's high enough, so you probably do lose the spell. Actually, looking at it.
Oh man,
enlarge. It's page 139. Just give me a second.
Okay.
It is. So what was it? A 7, right? It's just he lost the spell.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, lost failure.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Right. So that hasn't worked.
Dang.
All right. So we're gonna roll and try to open this door and take it down.
Yeah. Roll to open. No.
What'd you get?
Okay, I got a 9.
No.
And my strength check is whatever that is. A 9.
A 9.
Great.
Okay, so it's shifting a bit, but it's not giving. Are you gonna? What else are you going to try then?
Okay, so can we try that again, or are we just going to be like,
no, you can try. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm trying to use my sword to kind of get some leverage and break.
Which sword are you using? Is this
a regular?
His short sword. He got he snuck a short sword.
Okay,
yeah.
If he cocks it up, there's a chance he's going to damage the sword. But yeah, by all means.
Okay, so all right.
I will
so
let you have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so after quite a delay, you do manage to kind of wrestle this thing open.
Yeah, I rolled good that time.
And what you can see is a long passageway lit by a hellish glow. There's these cremation ovens all along this side that you can see into, and basically, as I said before, you can see these phantoms, and they're coming out of the flames and walking into the ovens, burning away, and then repeating the process. So they're almost like trapped in a perpetual loop.
Okay, so it's essentially like almost like a hellscape kind of thing. I'm getting images of the movie Legend. I'm not sure if you guys remember that, where it kind of looks all dirty and grimy, and there's just fire and smoke and everything all over the place. So, all right.
I don't want to back it up too far, but just when you blessed me, because I didn't add any pluses. Does it work with spellcasting? Is what I'm getting at.
It does.
It would, but I think that's expired now because it was only for a turn.
It's only for a turn, so that's like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, I just want to know if it works with spellcasting too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there is some heat coming from these ghostly ovens, but not much. Not compared with the heat coming out of the pit below you.
Okay.
And the smoke seems to be mainly kind of ethereal, spiritual, rather than real. So it's not even attacking your lungs particularly. So you're able to walk along here without necessarily even having to kind of cover your faces.
Okay.
But as you walk, these figures will just pass straight through you and carry on in their endless procession into these ovens.
Oh, jeez.
But they don't seem to interact with you. They don't seem to see you. You just feel a kind of touch of cold and sadness as they pass through you.
Okay, but they're just kind of there just to strictly kind of just like in single file, just walk into these ovens repeatedly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of sad.
We freaked out when he first sees that. Yeah. He even says, "Don't go in there," and it's kind of weirded out.
Okay, so there's at the end something has happened to one of the ovens, and it's all kind of collapsed. In fact, this seems to have happened to a couple of the ovens, and there's kind of debris on the ground. There's light shining from inside, sort of crimson bright light coming from inside these kind of damaged ovens, but you can't quite make out the source of it. And this is right at the end of the corridor.
All right. And this is an oven that we could probably walk into. There's no fire or anything, right? Even with all this debris, it's like it's completely out.
Well, certainly one of them that's full of rubble is completely out. Possibly the other one where the light's coming from, there might be something going on inside there. You kind of just need to peer in.
All right, that's what Weird says. Looking at Vec.
Okay, I'm sorry I missed that, Doll. What was that?
Weird says, "You reckon she's in there?" And kind of looks into the area.
Yeah,
well, I don't know exactly what to think about this particular area. I mean, it's kind of just weird, but
okay. So as
strange.
you kind of look into the oven that's kind of partially collapsed, you can see there is indeed a sort of silhouetted figure that is sort of wreathed in flames, lined in crimson flames, and it's clearly a female figure with longish hair. And as soon as you look at her, she notices you, and she sort of, you can't see how, but she sort of moves forward or approaches you in some way. And as she does, all the sort of phantoms all fall to their knees and start, "Please, Moira, please release us." Okay.
Weird takes a look and here's their chorus down the hallway saying that, and she's coming. And he looks at Vec and says, I think we found our lady. They're out of her misery. And them out of theirs. And you got your sword.
Okay. All right. Roll for initiative, please.
All right.
And I'll try and
do this.
do the same. Okay. 10. Right.
Okay.
Okay, so one of the ovens behind you is just going to explode out in a gout of fire. You guys need to make fortitude saves, please.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yes, so Vec has made it.
Yes. Just holding my breath. Yeah.
I'm trying to find it on here real quick, guys. It's just a D20? Because I have to roll this.
Yeah, it's a D20. I don't know if wizards get a bonus to their fortitude. Very quickly.
Yeah, actually, do you have your character sheet in front of you right now there, Del, and D20?
Yeah.
Okay, if you look off to the right, you'll see that you have your saves. You have the reflex, fortitude, and willpower. Yeah. If you look at that mod button, that little gray button, you can actually tap on that or hit it, and that'll roll it for you with all your modifiers and everything.
Yeah.
But I think as a wizard, I think all you get is willpower, and that's it.
Right,
with
it's plus nil.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Oh!
Okay.
Hey.
All right. So this is a kind of blast of hot air from this oven, which would have clearly pushed you either over the edge or through one of the archways onto a platform, and possibly tumbled you into the pit. But you've both managed to either find something to grab onto, or you've kind of ducked behind something, so you don't take the full force of the blast. So you're undamaged and you're not going in the pit.
The blast just goes on weird. It ruffles his kilt, and he's standing there bracing himself.
Oh God! Yeah, I'm behind. Yeah, I'm behind you, and you're bent over. No ruffle.
He doesn't leave behind.
No ruffle, boss.
Yeah. And the figure says, "What new madness has Ratvig conjured this time? What manner of undead are you?"
We're not undead. We're from the world of the living.
Well, why are you here?
I was told that my soul was in danger and that I had to come here to get it back.
More trickery and lies.
Hey, that may be, but that's why we're here. Yeah.
If you got him, I'm here for Hootie.
If you bring me Ratvig's crown, I will let you... If you truly are mortals, I will let you leave this place.
The crown, was that on the skeleton guy downstairs?
That's his ball. She was tormenting him. He has no control over her. Didn't you see what she did to him?
Yeah, she bathed him in fire. Just.
Yeah, you hear the chorus of all these souls behind us asking for relief from her. Yet, and then the weird turns around and points at her. Yeah, you hold them in bondage, and you hold Hootie and Vec here. Mm-hmm. I don't get that, but he's here.
All right, so are we? So basically, the choice.
She says, "I have no choice. Ratvig is evil. I curse him. I've cursed him to all eternity. I'm not responsible for these people," she says. And they're all going, "Moira, save us, release us." And she's sort of looking at them, and you can't really, because she's wreathed in flames, you can't read her expression. But
okay, Weird turns around and says, "Is this Moira?" To the souls that are you know.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. This is the maid.
Does she hold you?
She holds us. And Moira's going, no, I hold Ratvic. I don't hold these creatures. And the phantoms will say, you do.
Maybe she just doesn't know it.
What do you say? They say you do. Ratfig, you may hold him. Why are they held in bondage too? How can we release? How can you release? Have the power to release us and not them?
And also, and why is my soul taken? As far as I can tell, I'm not dead yet.
She says, maybe death toys with you. She's saying, I don't have to answer to your questions. I am the queen of this realm. And then she sort of shakes her head and says, no, I sound like Ratfig. She says, it's his fault. It's all his fault.
How do we release everyone from this bondage?
Yeah. I think I know how. And then I'm going to go on, I'm going to attack her with the blackened sword.
Okay. All right. Go for it.
All right.
Good. So did you want us to roll initiative again? Or?
No, we'll stick with the initiative we've got.
Okay.
So
She
she'll go
goes
first, but she's not
Yeah.
expecting you to attack her.
All right. Because it's just so crazy. All right. So what I'll do is I'll just add the saber here. So what is the saber? Just a D6, right? Just like a short sword?
D8, I'm going to say.
Okay.
Because it's actually a scimitar.
Okay. Now, I'm not...
Yeah. You're not trained to use this weapon.
No.
But on the other hand, you are a priest, are you not?
Yes.
And this is a weapon that's imbued with divine power, so you find that you can wield it.
Okay. So get the +1 because I'm trying to think. So all right. So I don't need.
Oh, he just dropped out.
Yeah. Justin, I think you need to reconnect.
You stop, drop, and roll 20. Yeah, I just hit the little refresh button at the top last time. Hey.
Yeah. No, it doesn't seem to be able to. No, he's not coming back in, is he?
Maybe send a.
I mean, it's clear. It says he's typing, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's unput. Oh,
There we
he's
go.
back.
For whatever reason, I got kicked out. So
It does happen with Roll20, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just when we get into the crux of the matter as well. Okay. So,
yeah.
Yeah, you were about to attack her.
Yeah. I ended up rolling the 9. I'm not sure. Can you see it? I rolled a 19.
Yes, so that will definitely hit her. Yeah.
Okay. And it's a D8.
Okay.
Doing 4 damage to her, and whatever. If I don't know if the
Roll
sword's
another
magical.
D8 on top of that, please.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's a little better.
Yeah. Okay. So, yes, there does seem to be something physical that the blade is able to attack, So she does squeal with pain, and she sort of releases a gout of flame at that point. And you guys have got to try and jump aside, so it's more reflex saves, I'm afraid.
My weakest one. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't forget, you have got. I think you've got a thing that you can add. Oh, Dale has.
No.
He's got the plus 12.
Yeah, I already used my plus
You
12.
used yours, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a 17 anyway.
I rolled 16.
Okay, so fine, yeah. So she releases this gout of flame, which goes the entire length of the corridor, but you both nimbly leap aside. Okay.
Yeah. Stick my tongue out to the side for a plus 1.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's Weird's go.
Okay, Weird. Weird dodges for a second, but when he sees Vec go at it, he'll begin his other chant. He doesn't have Hootie there, but Vec runs up on her and he says, "Missy was a hot potato. That ogre he done tried to ate her. When she walked by, he gave a whistle, so she flashed him with her magic missiles." And then he shoots them at them. That's what I roll for the extra thing on level 2.
Okay.
All right. Roll a d20.
Yeah.
So roll d20, add plus 2 for your level, add your intelligence modifier.
I'm just going to quickly bring up the book here.
And add your extra d12 as well. Let's see what that totals.
D12.
So I worked out mine's a 2nd edition copy. I didn't realise they were like 6th or 7th now.
Yeah, well, what they realistically are, though, is like there's not a lot of changes to the rules. Like, they're micro changes to some of them, but it's because each edition is a Kickstarter for when they had to release physical copies. Yeah.
It's like slightly different art, mainly, from what I can tell. Extra art.
Yeah.
There's more colour plates, I think, in the later version.
Yeah. So what'd you get, Del?
Altogether 13.
13.
Wow.
Okay. The caster throws a single missile that deals 1 point of damage.
Oh, man.
It's something. You didn't lose magic missile. You can cast another one.
You didn't lose the spell. You can try it again.
Yeah, just do it again.
Right. Okay, so she's now taken 12 points of damage.
Yeah, just gets her right in the eye. Ah!
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you do
Let's go.
All right, so I'm going to try to continue doing what I was doing before with the attack. I will continue to press my attack. Eat this, foul witch.
Yes, that's it. Gonna hit.
All right, and 2d8. Right?
Yep.
Or was that only a one-time thing?
No.
Okay. Ooh!
Wow. So she's taken 26 now. Okay, all right. She's the flames are beginning to dim, and you kind of get a bit of a glimpse of a deathly pale figure that's in the shape of a maid, possibly somebody who's like a fishmonger's or something like that. Yes, she's kind of you're not quite sure. She's not liking it, but at the same time, she's not really ducking from it. She's not avoiding it. It's almost like it's part of her kind of welcomes the release of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's your attack. Her attack on you is she's going to try and touch you, I think. Okay, so doesn't tell me how much damage she does when she touches you. That's useful.
No.
Let's see if she hits you first.
Okay. So I'm just a straight up 10. So that's a hit.
Oh, so she just manages to grab you. So this is this searing touch. Right, okay. And there we go. Ooh, 7 points of fire damage.
Okay, so that's all my temporary hit points.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And it's now Weird's go. So you can cast your magic missile again if you wish, because you didn't lose the spell.
Okay. Actually,
it's certainly Weird is less effective without that stupid fish, isn't he?
wait a minute, stupid fish.
Yeah, stupid. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll have you know that fish is the most capable warrior in the entire park. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fire it out and fire it out again.
Okay.
And that was...
Yeah, it's a D20, and you add your intelligence bonus and your levels.
Yeah, that's 3 total. 9.
9. That's a failure and a loss.
Okay, so the spell goes fut. It's just not doing it for you today.
You wanted a 24, Del.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, so it's Vex go.
Yeah, okay. So, crying and stabbing and jabbing at her, going,
Yeah, she's almost walking up the blade towards you now as she's sort of reached that, yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to, hopefully, still getting a good thing going on here, so I'm going to still roll. No! That's a fumble. Hold on. So I will be rolling a D8 on the fumble table. That's another 1, so that's good. Wait. No, it reverses with luck, right? Oh, but I have luck. So my roll is 0 on the fumble table.
Wow, okay.
So
you're
that's
wearing leather armor, aren't you? So.
Yeah, which was a D8. So I rolled a 1. My luck is +1, so you reverse it, right?
Yeah.
So when I rolled a 1, it becomes a 0. So my fumble is 0, which I think is like nothing.
But miraculously it caused no other damage. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Die.
All right. So she's
heroes. Yeah. Yeah. So it's her.
That throws her off as well as you wildly swing. She misses too.
Yes.
Okay. Weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Weird. He's a my little buddy, and he's got his. He's already shot 2. And did nothing, right? So he's got his sword, and he's running down the hallway to catch up. Not that much of a run, but he's saying this while he's running. Verblucher made a mean witch's brew, chilled by the heart in her breast. If you drank it, your balls would turn blue, as if you'd seen her undressed. And he casts chill touch on the sword, all right? Okay. That's what he's doing here, so when he gets up to her, he's going to try to cleave her with that.
Okay, go for it.
I mean, you want me to go ahead now? With the cast and that? Or is that next turn?
Yeah. Let's just take a look. Okay, that's the chill touch, right?
I think you need to make a spell check for chill touch this round and then hit it with it next round.
Yeah. It'll work. All right, so D20. You sure he shouldn't be doing more than a D20?
Yeah, it is only a D20 though. Yeah, because it's always the equivalent of your action roll. So in everyone's action roll begins at a D20. So now here's the thing that we haven't done with your chill touch, and we forgot to do it with your magic missile too, Del. You have to roll to see how it manifests.
Yes. Yeah.
So find the weird thing that happens, and then you also have to do the mercurial magic, which means that your spell is very unique, so it reacts in a certain way. So
we can do that in a sec. Yeah.
So what did you roll for your spell?
I don't think it would be 8.
It would be an 8.
Much luckage.
Yeah, which is a failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wouldn't even bother with the other stuff yet until you've kind of successfully gotten it. So.
Okay. All right.
Oh, the dice just aren't with you today, Del.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is the thing with magic in this game, though. It is a bit random, isn't it? It can be brilliant or it can be nothing.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can't depend on it, but if it works, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So I love it, though. I like that.
Yeah. No, I like it. Okay, so I think it's
Stab her. Stab her now!
Stab her
No,
now.
not again!
Or just lost in front of you. Is that what it was? Yeah.
All right, so that's a fumble of 6
Okay.
on the fumble table. So let's see if I can find it.
You rolled another 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez, the dice is killing us tonight.
Yeah. Here, I'm just trying to find the fumble table. It's under combat, right?
I had it and I shut the book.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. No, I've got the table.
Okay, so that's going to be so you subtract 1 from what I rolled there on the D8. So it'll be a 6.
Your weapon becomes entangled. You must spend your next round untangling it. Apparently it's caught up, snagged on your armor.
Okay.
So that also, for the sake of from now on, your armor bonus is reduced by 1.
Okay.
So I think your armor was only a 10 anyway, wasn't it? So.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the armor bonus is only 1, so it just means that I don't have any armor.
Yeah.
All right.
Hang on, 2 seconds. All right. I'm just trying to work out now whether we're recording or not. I think we are, aren't we, still? Right, okay. So that was your go. So now it's her go. And she says, it is not my fault. And she misses you.
Okay.
Okay, it's Wid's go.
Okay, so that's just me kind of twisting and turning, trying to get the sword blade out of my, the cuff of my armor. Just yeah. Dang it! Just fit.
Okay, with chill touch, I lost that too, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can get a spell back, but you've got to use. I think you've got to use spell burn to get another spell. I think that's how it works.
Did you? Yeah. How many spells do you have, Del? Did you go through all of them?
Through. Well, no, I've got magic shield, and I've got a.
Yeah.
Yeah. Magic shield.
So.
And enlarge. But yeah, no, that's it.
Correct.
Lost all of them. It's that magic shield, but.
Yeah.
So, so you've got 5 known spells. You haven't cast every single one of those 5 that you know. You've done Magic Missile, which you've lost, Chill Touch, which you've lost, and then Enlarge, which you've lost. So you've got 2 left, and you've already said that they're
just magic shield, climb walls.
Yeah. So what you can get a spell back that I think that you've lost, but you have to use spell burn to do it, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. I have the rule right here, Mark. A wizard may use spell burn to cast spells he has lost for the day.
Yeah.
Though through previous castings, for example. If a wizard expends a lost spell level and ability score points, he can cast the spell as if he still had it. For example, a wizard could spell burn 2 points of ability scores to cast a level 2 spell he has lost for the day. The wizard must expend additional spell burn to gain a bonus to the spell check. So how spell burn works, Del? You sacrifice 1-to-1 any of your physical attributes, strength, dexterity, and stamina. You just take you just take like a penalty or a hit to it. So like your strength will go down by 1 or 2 or what have you. And that's how big of a bonus you can give yourself. So what they're saying here with this one is if you just reduce your strength by 1, or your dex by 1, or your stamina by 1, or you can cast a first level spell.
Yeah, and you'll get that back because spell burn is temporary, whereas luck burning is permanent.
Yeah. So
okay, I need to do the spell burn.
So when you spell burn, that only gives you 1 shot with that magic missile. Because if you've lost the spell already for the day, you have to keep doing spell burn in order to cast it that way. Yeah.
That's what I'll have to do, and yeah.
But here's the thing, though. You can still take more spell burn to increase your spell check.
If you wish.
So that if you wanted to. So that D20, if you're like, I'm only off by 4, well, you can... Well, I take my finger out and I slice my hand open and be like, yeah.
You just friends are desperate with getting at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do... Is it my turn right now again?
Yes, it is.
But I'll do a spell burn to get back chill touch. All right.
Okay.
Drop my intelligence down 1 for that.
Oh, no, it has to be a physical attribute. It has to be either your dex, your strength, or your stamina.
Okay, I'll do stamina.
Okay.
Right.
All right. And it didn't work on the first time, and he's standing there again, so he's repeating the chant and trying to get it to work again.
Think big numbers.
Actually, it's rolled a natural 19.
Nice.
So first, So that's, what is that? 20.
So 19 plus 3, right? So 22.
22
okay.
Is what we need.
Okay. So before we do that, though, Del, we got to roll a couple of other things. We got to find out what that manifests as. So roll a D4.
4.
Okay, so the wizard's hands appear skeletal.
Very appropriate.
Okay, and then so what we're going to do is then we need to do the mercurial magic.
Yeah.
And so roll a percentile.
Yeah.
All right. 72.
72. Worms of the earth. Pale white worms crawl forth from the earth whenever you cast this spell, writhing in fiery agony before expiring on the open ground. They disintegrate into greasy ash after 1d6 turns, which is quite appropriate that they're burning, because we're in a burning place. So, yeah, okay.
So skeleton hands and white withering worms appear below your feet when you summon this. So
got chill touch itself on a 22, which is hopefully going to be quite
I got that. Okay, the caster's hands are charged with negative energy for the next turn. So the next 10 minutes. The caster receives +2 to attack rolls, and every creature the caster attacks takes an additional 2d6. Undead creatures take an additional +2 points of damage.
Okay. Right. So your skeletal hands are grasping the sword, and frost is coming onto the blade of it. So that's what you've done this turn. Vec is freeing his self where he's caught up on the armor. So it's now the top of the next round. So I think it's is it her go next?
Yep. So she's always on top. Yeah. Made you laugh, Del. Yeah. Yeah.
15's going to definitely hit your rubbishy armor, isn't it? Yeah. So she's going to burn you. She's going to try and burn you some more.
All right.
Oh.
Dang.
Okay.
So lucky.
We're good.
So she hardly touches you. Just,
We're good. It's like a sunburn. We're fine. Yeah. Yeah.
You turn around and get a hand.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just bronzed,
okay,
man.
So I don't think Vec goes this go. So I think it's all down to Weird with that chilled out sword.
So you have chill touch. Yeah.
All right. So I'm rolling for the sword, which will be, I'll roll up here.
Yeah.
What should I roll?
Yeah, it's just an attack.
20 plus your mod.
So you're going to get a +1 because you're level 2.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for it on the computer, but I don't see it. So.
Oh, you mean for the weapon? Yeah, you gotta write it down. If you look underneath all the, you see the
sword melee. I got it right here.
Yeah. So what you can do is the melee button, which shows your modifier. You can click on that. Yeah.
Okay. Unbelievably, that actually hits her on an 11.
Yes, but you do more than 1d6 of damage. You're doing 3d6 of damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Add that was 1 already, so add 5 and 4, so 9 more.
Okay.
9 more, so that's 12.
Tell me how you strike her down.
Oh, you got her.
And well, that's pretty epic. I said, "Get off my buddy!" and ran up and fizzled out the first time. Second time, like you said, my hands glowing with skeletal
hands. Yeah,
just kind of leaving in my wake as I'm running, curling up out of the ground.
Yeah,
and I run in. You've struck her a good blow, but you're trying to let go. I mean, you're trying to get your sword out.
The sword's all tangled into my armor, like it's through like a slit, like a leather strap, or just like a cloth strap, or it's stuck in my buttons for some reason.
When you're trying to lean back to do that, she's reached in and gets a little bit of a burn.
Yeah.
And while she does that, with her arm out, I cleave her right in between the arm and right down through her breastplate.
Okay. So her flames instantly go out as the frozen blade touches her, and she goes down under the weight of your blow, and she says, "Release at last, thank you." And the kind of phantoms and the clouds and everything, it starts to kind of be sucked towards the remaining furnace, and a kind of gateway appears in the wall, and all this spiritual energy is kind of getting sucked through this gateway, and you can see beyond it there's a couple of figures. There's a huge giant, skeletal giant, off in the well, in the distance, but it's hard to kind of judge the scale of it. And then in front of him, the fortune teller who's beckoning you forward.
I'm standing there, and I'll let her drop to the ground.
Oh, and there's also a familiar fish.
Uh-oh.
And okay, the fortune teller's holding the fish or whatever.
Yeah.
While I look at this,
she's beckoning to both of us. So
I'm focused on Hootie, though. When she drops, I'm looking down at her like it's a sad thing. I look up and I see Hootie, and my eyes kind of open up, and I say, "Hootie!" And then I kind of take one step over her, and as I'm taking a step over her, I go forward, and it kind of releases the sword from me, and the sword's dragging, you know what I mean, kind of behind me, and I'm walking straight for Hootie.
All right, so I'm going to follow him, so right behind him.
Yeah, so there's this line of ice where the sword is dragged along the floor through the portal, and you can see as you get closer, she's got her deck of cards, but she's also got one of these beetles in her other hand, which she's kind of holding quite delicately, and she behind her is this giant figure, skeletal figure, who's quite clearly death, or a personification of death, and she says, "I am the witch of Salim. You must game with death to win the soul of your companion and to release the soul shard from his grasp. She says, death challenges you to a simple game which you should know, and basically she puts down 4 cards, and she says, you the rules are very simple. If you draw death, that beats any other cards. If you get a pair of cards, that beats any single death. Who will take this challenge?
Okay, so death. Okay, I'm not quite sure I understand. So we have 4 cards. So
she's got 4 cards. You've got some cards.
Yeah.
You play a card. She plays a card. Or rather, death plays a card, and it basically, if the cards are turned over and you've got a death and he hasn't, then you win. If he's got a death and you haven't, he wins. On the other hand, any other set of cards, if both cards turn up the same, then basically that is a tie. But it oh yeah, I got it wrong. It's a pair of cards you turn up each. Sorry.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I'll go ahead and I'll do it.
Yeah,
I think I gotta get my soul back, and it's for Hootie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
now we do a game, right? Because Weird would be saddling up for Hootie immediately.
So 2 games? Are you just gonna go right ahead? Are we playing 2 games, or is it just the 1 game for all the souls?
She says, it's usually 1 game for 1 soul. These are death rules.
Okay, we'll get Hootie back. We said that we would get Hootie back first.
Okay. Yeah, Weird saddles up. He kind of bolsters up and. All right, Death.
All right.
Let's go at it.
Okay.
All
right. So she'll deal the 4 cards. So she'll deal a pair to you, and a pair to Death. Now, do you want to cheat Death? Because you have extra cards.
You're right.
You actually have, if I remember correctly, Weird drew the Death card, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can try and slip the Death card into, or substitute one of the pair that's been put down for you.
I'll try that. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot Death.
Okay. All right. So, in order to cheat Death, obviously you've got to make a bit of a. You either need a distraction, or you've got to be really sharp card player and a sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Or magic would work potentially.
Here I am doing stuff. Look at me, Death. I'm over. Yeah.
I'm going to take my sword that I've been dragging, and as I'm flourishing it like right in front of it to put it in the scabbard, that's when I'm going to take the card and like grab it. But I'm going to use that as a distraction somewhat. You know what I mean? With the
so I think that's probably if it's a sword flourish that you're going to do it off, then let me have a look at your character for 2 seconds. You certainly can do that. It's not a problem. Yeah, I'm going to say that's a personality roll possibly.
All right. All right. Got a personality of -1, so that's 7 total.
Yee.
Yeah.
He doesn't fall for it.
So a huge bony hand reaches down, and as you try to swap the card, he just flicks it away.
Oh, jeez.
Gonna be pure luck. Okay, so how we're going to do this is we're going to do it based on a roll of a d4, and then a roll of a d3. So first off, you roll a d4, and I'll tell you what your first card is.
4.
So that's the moon that's
All right.
just drawn for you. Okay, and then roll a d3 for your second card.
3.
Okay, so it's the moon and the beggar that you've got. Okay,
All right.
and death has. Let's see, what does he have? So his d4 is okay. Okay, so and second roll is. I'll do this on a d6. Okay. Unbelievably, he got the same cards. So you both have a moon and a beggar. So you tie. So the first round is a tie, and he kind of thumps the ground in this strange sort of pocket space that you're in, which kind of seems to stretch off to infinity, but is quite undefined. There's, there may be a suggestion of a mountain side in the background. There may be suggestion of trees, but you can't really see. It's very, very dark.
We're staring him straight in the eye sockets. That's your number now, big boy.
Okay, all right. So she deals the cards again.
All right.
Are you going to try to cheat again, or are you going to play it straight?
Well, he flicked the card away, so I don't have any other cards on me.
No, but and in fact you lost the Tallow Men, so the only other card is Vex card, isn't it?
Yep, the Fool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now let me keep that. I'm up there and I'm focused on that.
All right, okay, go for it.
You're counting cards. Yeah.
All right, roll a d4 then.
Yeah.
1 and 2. A 1 and a 2.
Okay. All right. And let me roll. Okay. And a d3. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Okay. You both play fools. So you got a fool and a death. So he puts a fool down, you put a fool down. That's a tie. And then he puts the moon card down. And you put the death card down.
Oh, man.
And he tosses the table. And the cards all go flying. And he sort of stomps away. And the witch very quickly passes you the fish. And says, I'd make a run for it if I were you.
I'm
my
grabbed Hootie, and I start immediately playing as loud across this thing, as loud as he stomped, doing a jig right in front. You know what I mean? Kicking up and everything.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. However, he has made a bargain, so he has to stick to the bargain, so he has to do the next round of cards as much as he might not wish to. he comes and he stands and he lowers his head as he's right in front of Weird, and he looks you right in the eyes. You can see like stars in the back of his eye sockets. You just get the impression of the kind of immense age of this personification, and then he straightens back up and he goes to play the next round with Vec.
I think.
All right. So while we do that, I will very quickly roll my cards for Death. Okay. Excellent. All right. And okay, so Death turns over a beggar, and his second card is a fool. Okay, so Justin, I don't know if if you're still there or not.
I think he dropped out. I'm typing a message.
Yeah. So I'm going to say roll a d4. And I'm going to tell him what the rolls mean. Okay. And yeah. Oh, you're back. You're back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Roll a d4. Death has drawn a fool and a beggar.
Okay.
So a 1 will be a fool, a 2 is a death, a 2.
Yes.
You won.
First one. I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna come up like a boss, right? He's like, okay, he's psyched, he's ready to game. He goes up his claw hand.
He dropped out again.
And he's drowned out by the noise of the bagpipes.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
Oh, the suspense is killing me. All right.
Okay, we better get this done quick. Apparently,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So flip the card, Death. Boom. That's right. My soul.
Okay, so you take the beetle back from the witch, and she says, "Flee, flee!" And Death draws this immense scythe that is probably like 20 foot high, and he strides towards you, and the portal is beginning to sort of disapparate slightly. And she says, "He is not happy with the cheating. I would get out of here while you still can."
Cheating? It's totally fair. I played by his rules. Okay, so I'm just going to run out.
He played by the rules.
The bagpipe player. So this huge scythe, he sort of lifts it and he's like, "Wah!" And he makes to strike at Weird. What are you doing?
I'm
dodge
for the portal. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I'm playing as fast as I can.
All right. I think it's this is willpower, really. So willpower save, please.
Okay.
Which is your personality, isn't it? Personality modifier, I think, is your willpower.
Oh, man.
Yep.
We had 1. That's a 9.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this huge scythe comes down, and he strikes at you and shatters the portal just as you get through it. You had but a single round to flee, but you did flee straight away. You didn't hang around. You weren't doing more jigs and playing the bagpipes, and so you do manage to flee. But the scythe will follow you through the portal, and he is going to carve up the ground in front of you. So it's going to smash the area where the furnace was into pieces at this point, I think you need to make a luck roll at this point.
All right.
Otherwise, there's a chance you're going to go over the edge.
18, unmodified.
Okay.
Yes.
So, is luck? How does luck work again? Is it roll under?
Yeah, that one is roll under.
Oh, you killing me?
No, it's a roll. It's a roll under. Well, it depends on what you know. What Mark? It's your game. That's your choice. What do you want to do? You want to make it difficult for Dell, or you want to give him?
No, I want to go real, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll under. Shoot.
What is your luck?
9. I rolled twice over.
All right. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to give something up here, Dell. I'm going to say that basically you can burn something to get to adjust that score.
But I have to burn every one I burn. I'd have to burn 9. I can't do that. So
that would reduce your luck to nothing, wouldn't it? Which means you don't have any future luck. Or you can say he gets the familiar, and the familiar takes it for you. Or you can go over the edge.
Or we could do something a little bit more interesting, I guess, if you wanted. Well, this is like all narrative stuff, though. Mm-hmm. But could you say that maybe he's marked by death, being hit by the edge of the scythe? So what happens is anytime he has to undergo any kind of a resurrection or anything, he has to actually deal with death.
Yes.
Death will personally come for him, and he'll want to play another game, no cheating, and it's not a guarantee that he'll come back.
That's a good idea. He's tagged.
Yeah, I like that. So that means that you don't get the usual roll over the body. If you get reduced to 0 at any point, that death will turn up.
Gotcha.
And, he will want to replay the game. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, no, I think that's definitely what we'll do. Okay, so you're able to flee from the realm of death. I mean, it does actually say here that you do get a single round to flee. If you dally, then he will strike you. But you didn't dally. You made it through the gate. However, you did fail the roll. So you are now marked by death. Okay, so you are find yourselves back in the back streets of the city. You're not entirely sure exactly where you are. Your memory of what exactly has happened is already fading. Weird's hangover is now really coming on very strongly. You both can permanently gain half the temporary hit points that you rolled as a kind of boon for having travelled to the realm of death and made it out. So I think I can't remember what you rolled with. You rolled did one of you roll a 7? So
I rolled a 7. So
you get 3 back.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what Weird rolled for.
Yeah, I did the same 7.
Yeah, okay. So you both get 3 permanent hit points. And who? So help remind me what cards you both ended up with. You ended up with the death card, didn't you? So you've got a permanent +1 bonus to a roll with a single chosen weapon or spell.
That'd be me?
Yeah. So we make that chill touch. That feels like that's the appropriate one.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I would say that's probably the one that would work with that. So chill touch gets a permanent +1.
Yeah. And you got the Fool, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you actually get a permanent +1 to your luck.
Nice. I don't think that does anything for me, but no, I can get that. It's more luck to burn.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think we're done. So thank you very much for that. Sorry about the technical difficulties with the
that's okay. That's okay. That's just D20. It's something we're going to have to get used to if we're going to be using this. So, but no, it was fun. I had a lot of fun.
No, I hope you liked it. Like I say, that's from this, which I think is one of their older 2012. I think that came out. Blades Against Death. There's a chunk in it that we didn't do, which I just took out so we could do it as a sort of single shot. But yeah, I must admit I have quite a lot of their DCC stuff, but that's the first time I've actually run one of their proper ones that was actually done for the game rather than their 3rd edition, 4th edition modules, because I think that's what they started doing, wasn't it, before they developed their own version of the rules. And their 3rd edition and 4th edition stuff, it's really good, but it's not quite as kind of gonzo as this stuff.
Oh yeah. It takes that takes me back a little bit.
Yeah.
And, it was the first module I ran through the Dungeon Crawl Classics.
Yeah.
No, well I say that, but Todd ran us through that other one. But as far as that was cool.
Well, it'd be nice to kind of know, like, if we are going to keep this as the DCC group, what modules everyone's kind of run through, because I have like 3 or 4 myself too, which I wouldn't mind trying to run with people as well.
Yeah.
Eventually, after Todd is finished with his, with his game, forever, how long that's going to be. But anyways, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I have dinner. So, it was a lot of fun.
I really appreciate you doing this, Mark.
It was a bit of a challenge to try to swat up on DCC and try and remember all the rules, because we've just come straight from playing Traveller, which couldn't be more different.
Yeah. Well, and I remember that Todd kept on getting the rules in this system mixed up with Lamentations of the Flaming Princess all this time.
I'm playing that one too.
Yeah, because he kept on saying, well, what's your dex and what's your constitution and what's your
I don't feel so bad now then.
Yeah, he kept on saying, you make a wisdom check. I'm like, we have personality and intelligence. We don't have wisdom here. But
you said that this game, you said roll wisdom or something like that.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. 3rd edition, willpower, reflex, fortitude.
Okay.
Right, thanks very much for that, guys. I enjoyed it. It was a blast. So we'll have to talk to Todd and see what happens next.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
Catch you guys.
All right. I'm going to stop recording. Cheers.